Okay, so here again we have side, angle, side. There's no angle opposite side pairing. So again, I'm going to have to use the cosine law. So I'm going to say that this side is angle C, and it gives me side C. And again, the real key to this formula is just make sure that you pair those up, and the other two sides doesn't really matter. So C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared minus, and we have to just account for that this is not 90 degrees, so I'm going to do 2 times 5 times 9, and then cosine of the 62-degree angle. And again, just make sure that if I'm solving for this C in the formula, I need to use this angle C in the formula. Okay. So plugging it in, C squared is equal to, let's just work that all out. Kind of do this in one calculation maybe. So I'm getting C squared as 63.75, and then square root that. I'm getting 7.98, and I'm trying to do as little rounding as possible. And again, depending on your rounding, you're going to get, you might be off by a couple decimals, but no big deal. Okay, as long as you're around 8, that's perfectly fine. So I've got the third side here, and again, I'm going to use the cosine law to solve for the other angle. So I'm going to call that angle A and angle B. And we could use sine law here. Now, it's fairly safe to say that that's less than 90 degrees. So if I were to use sine law, I could probably use theta 1. But again, I'm going to just avoid all that and just use my angle opposite side pairing in the cosine law. Okay, so I'm going to use my cosine law here. So I'm going to say 5 squared. So that's my C squared. So I just have to make sure that that angle ends up in my equation. So it's going to be 9 squared plus 7.98 squared minus 2 times 9 times 7.98 cosine of angle A. Okay, so again, as long as this side and that angle are represented in the formula that way, we are using the formula correctly. So I'm going to solve for cosine of angle A. Okay, I'm going to do this in one step here because there's a lot of calculating. So I get 9 squared plus 7.98 squared minus 2 times 9 times 7.98 is equal to, oops, sorry, I'm going to have to do this again. So I've got 5 squared minus 9 squared minus 7.98 squared. I'm going to divide by 2 times 9 times 7, divide by 7.98. Okay, so I end up with cosine is going to be 0.833. Okay, and then if I do this inverse cosine, angle A is equal to the inverse cosine. So my input is ratio, my output is angle, and I get an angle of 33.59 degrees. So my angle A is 33.59 degrees. I can deduce angle B from subtracting from 180. So 180 minus 62 minus 33.59, and I get 84. So angle B works out to be 84.41 degrees. So there's 84.41 degrees. So I found my unknown side and my two unknown angles. Just make sure that it's clear where all your solutions are when you do this, because there's lots of work that has to be organized here. Okay, so there you have it. This is our two situations where you use the cosine law is side, angle, side. Okay, so I'm going to write that down here, side, angle, side, or side, 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 okay, where we have to solve for the angle. Okay, so here again with side, angle, side. And the reason why I was using the cosine law to solve for the angle, okay, although even now once we solve this side, we have this angle and opposite side known pair. Okay, although I could use sine law, I just wanted to be careful because I don't want to end up having to worry about the ambiguous case. Okay, and worry about theta 1, theta 2. If I use cosine law, there's no worry about theta 1, theta 2. Your answer is never ambiguous.